Hi guys, this is me, Tara. Nararating sa Story 10. Ang title sa Story 10 kay Fairest Creature of Creations. As Adam watched the animals basking in the warm sunshine or playing happily in the meadows, he soon noticed that they were in pairs. Every animal had a mate. Alongside the majestic lion strode as a sleek and slender lion is. Behind the altar, the stag moved a graceful doe with the power bull that was a gentle cow. Near the tiger was a tigress, but close by the bear was a she-bear. Not far from Mr. Rabbit was Mrs. Rabbit. And so it was with the giraffe and the zebras, the rhinos and the antelopes, the octopus and the squirrels. Only Adam was alone. Truly, the animals were as friendly to him as they could be. When he called to them, they stopped and looked at him with their great big wondering eyes, but they couldn't say a single word in return. The little dog seems to understand him best, and it was clear that he wanted to speak ever so badly. But all he could do was twiggle and jump about and bark and wag his tail. Many times Adam must have wondered why there was no mate for him. Perhaps he began to search for one. Perhaps out of the itch of his heart, he called and called, hoping that someone like himself might hear his voice and answer. Perhaps he half expected to see some beautiful creature come gliding through the forest toward him to be his special friend and companion. But no one came. As he lay upon the grass, thinking of these things, his sense of loneliness increased. The earth was very beautiful. The animals so friendly and amusing. But there was nobody for him to talk to. Nobody with whom he could share his thoughts. Nobody. That is God. That is save God. Suddenly, Adam began to feel very sleepy. This was strange. He thought he had never felt this before. What could be happening to him? He tried to keep awake, but it was no use. Moment by moment, he became sleepier and sleepier, until at last he could keep his eyes open no longer. The earth, the flowers, the trees, the animals, all fade away and were forgotten as he fell into deep slumber. Now God drew near to him again, as near as he had been a little while before that, when he had breath into his nostril the breath of life. With one sniff thought of his gentle, creative hands, he moved a rib from the sleeping form before him, closing up the wound with infinite skill. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man and made he a woman. What a strange thing for God to do. If he could make the sun, the moon, and the stars by saying, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven." If he could make all the animals by saying, "Let the earth bring forth the living creatures." After his kindness, why did he not say, "Let there be a woman"? And why after making Adam the most marvelous creature in his wonderful new world, did he take a rib from his perfect body to make his life companion? There must have been a good reason why God thought, and I like to think that it was because he wanted Adam to know that his wife was truly a part of him, so that he would ever treat her as he would himself. The Bible tells us that God made Eve to be an helpmate for him, from which our world helpmate has come. And what a lovely thought that is! She was to stand by his side always, helping him, working with him, planting with him, and share lives and joys with him. Let us watch God at work again. Of Adam's rib, we are told he built a woman, even as he had formed man of the dust of the ground. So now, with infinite wisdom and skill, he fashioned the one who was to become the mother of the whole human race. How perfectly he molded the features of her lovely face. How graceful he arranged her long, flowing hair. With what loving thought he placed within her mind and heart all the tenderness, all the gentleness, and the sweetness, all the endless store of love he wanted every mother to have. In less time than it makes to tell, there stood before him the fairest creature of all creation, her eyes sparkling with the joy of life, a tender smile giving her pretty face and a beauty beyond compare. And now slowly and gracefully, she takes her first few steps as God brings her onto the man. Wonderly, she looks down at the sleeping figure before her. Who can this be? Dreaming perhaps of the companion he hopes to meet someday, somewhere in the wonderful world God has given him. Adam stares and opens his eyes. Oh, wonder of wonders! There before him stands someone beautiful than he had dared to hope for. A being of choice, so noble, so altogether lovely that he can scarcely believe that she is real. Looking into her bright, kindly, understanding eyes, he knew that at once that this is his mate, the dear companion for whom he had been longing, and Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." It is love at first sight. Instantly, both seems to know that they belong to each other. Arrogantly, they link hands and walk away together. As king and queen of the glorious new earth, they wander through the filled hills, over the tree-stood hills, down by the wave-swept shore, exploring the wonders of God's creation and marveling at the glory of his power. Meanwhile, not far away, silent one, watching over them in tender love and smiling and at their perfect happiness, is God himself. His joy complete in theirs. So, mo na ang stories dance sa atong part 1. Bye-bye!